y'all? I'm back. I wanted to get up on here and talk about relationships and just give my opinion on relationships and, speak about a couple of my relationships. And, this shit, dude, trying to get on camera and talk, but I'm gonna just have a little conversation with you guys about my opinion on relationships. So, I feel like in today's time, people are dating just to fill voids. People are dating because they are lonely. I feel like people are dating to get over somebody. And too many times we get into these relationships and then we get out of the relationships, and then a month later, 2 months later, there's someone there and we rush back into another relationship. When we do that, we don't give ourselves time to heal. Yeah, we might be heartbroken, can't sleep at night by ourselves, wishing somebody would text our phone, wishing that person would call us. And then that emotion is over with, after a couple of weeks, and things start to progress. Just because that period of your breakup or period of your pain is over with does not mean that the pain or the heartbreak isn't still there. When we go through pain, we still have to process it later on. Just how when someone dies in the grieving process, it's so hard the first few months, and then we, it starts to stabilize that, but that pain is still there, and we start to move off the pain. We might get traumatized. We might show over affection to our loved ones because that pain is still there. It's the same with the heartbreak. Just because that period of time is over with does not mean the pain is still there. And then we rush into another relationship, not giving the previous one time. And when you do that, you're gonna act in ways in your new relationship that you did in your previous relationship. And sometimes it might be even worse because you're already going into something not trusting nobody. You're already going into something looking sideways. You are not going into it with a pure, clean heart. And not to say you have to be healed completely before you meet someone, because like I said, the healing process doesn't stop. But you don't want to rush too soon until you, one, acknowledge the pain, the trauma, acknowledge the relationship, acknowledge how the relationship ended, and over time try to get better. When you get out of breakup, you want to go through solitude. That's the best and important thing you can do for yourself, because when we go through solitude, we start to heal our inner wounds. So, and I'm gonna come back to the topic on solitude, but there was something that I was reading, or I think I was watching a YouTube video, and they were talking about how 80 to 90% of Americans in the USA deal with loneliness. Now, the reason why loneliness feels so, it feels like painful, or we're so scared of being alone, the truth is we weren't born into this world alone. I know you hear a lot about people saying, I'm gonna die alone. I came in this world alone. We didn't come in this world alone. We came with somebody there. We came with, a room full of people, doctors. We came through the world with a mother or both of your parents there. You didn't come alone, even though you didn't get born with a sibling right behind you. You didn't come here alone, and you won't die alone either. You will die with people at your burial. You will die with people having a whole funeral service. There will be probably even more people around you when you die. And then through life, you're dealing with people or around people, or grew up in a family and around people. So the reason why loneliness hurts so much is because we aren't truly ever alone. So that's why loneliness hurts so bad, because we know deep down, we weren't here alone. We were here to, procreate, create more with other people around us. We're supposed to have that. But once again, solitude is so important. It's an important process of yourself that you have to go through. So yes, when you go through that solitude, it hurts, you're alone, but it starts to get better, and you start to learn new things about yourself. You start to love yourself in ways you didn't love before because you were constantly with somebody. When you're constantly with people or constantly in these relationships, you learn other people. You start to kind of forget yourself in a sense. Not really forget yourself, but the focus is not completely on you. It's on the relationships that you're in. So every time you get in a relationship, your life is forming to how that person is. You guys are combining your lifestyles. You guys are combining your energies. So you're going to start going in that person's direction in life. We all have our own journeys to go through. We all have our own directions. And people are placed here for lessons, and people are placed here for certain seasons in your life. So that is important. But eventually you have to learn that I can't just keep hopping into these relationships. I need to start loving myself. So, that's a little bit, I'm gonna give the truth about my relationships. I've been in relationships, or I've been tied down, I've been locked in with people majority of my life. And I think they might have something to do with abandonment issues, because I was raised by a single mom. Me and my dad might talk a little bit, but it's not just a lot. He's not in my life like that. So it's like, I was born with a single mom, saw my mom every day, and I didn't really see my mom in a loving or a stable relationship. I've seen her with one person who has been here for quite some time, but I don't believe that the relationship, is a healthy relationship. So to be honest, I haven't seen a healthy relationship growing up, so I don't know what that's like. And I've also have abandonment issues, so I'm always seeking love to be around me. I'm always seeking to be tied in with somebody. But when I get tied in with people, I start to resent them a little bit. I love people that I get with. I wouldn't be with them if I didn't love them, but I start to resent them in a sense because I start to lose focus within myself. And I know other people probably deal with something like that, and it can start to display in how you act towards your person, because it's like you can start to have trace of jealousy, you can start to have trace of enviness, you can start to have trace of resentment, you can probably not be so nice. Any little issues that they have, it kind of rubs you the wrong way, because it's like, oh well, I have my own issues to deal with. And sometimes it can play in as you being a selfish person, but it's really because you haven't given yourself time, and you get into these relationships because you're trying to fill a void, but you haven't really given yourself time to actually heal and focus on yourself and learn about yourself and love yourself. So that's something that I've struggled with in my relationship. I've been in relationships, and they were good relationships, and there was things that I have done, and there's things that the other person I was with have done, and it's just all about how you soak up what happens and how pain makes you act. And I can be honest that pain hasn't always made me act in the best way, and that's learned behavior over time. Now, in the space that I'm in now, is you need to have emotional control when you're dealing with people. You need to learn how to not let things affect you so bad, because of course the people that you love, yes, they will affect you bad, but you have to learn how to process that emotion and control yourself. So that's something that I've had to learn over time. That's something I also want people that I've dated to learn over time. You just have to have emotional control. You have to have emotional intelligence when you're dealing with people. So we act by how we were raised, and I feel like kind of in today's time relationships are a little bit trash, is because people aren't willing to ask questions or have effective communication or actually love people in their love languages. Love languages are so real, guys. That is the realest way you can love somebody. If you see somebody is more receptive to acts of service or more receptive to communication or words of affirmation, you want to put that into the person so they can thrive, so y'all can thrive. And that person also needs to reciprocate the energy and put it into you, into your love language, how you're going to effectively take it in. So I feel like people need to have emotional control, emotional intelligence, and effective communication, because I could be angry and then you'll act in a passive aggressive way without asking me why I'm angry, or like trying to have the emotional intelligence and pointing out, oh, she seems angry right now, let me just see what's up with her. And I could also, in my end, have better communication and just let you know, hey, I'm angry right now, something happened today, and I just need time to process it, because if you start coming at me and saying certain things, then I'm gonna get angry and lash out. A lot of people don't have effective communication in relationships. We just get with these people, we don't like how they treating us, so we'll act passive aggressive, or we'll have the I'ma play fire with fire and get back. Like, that shit is trash. Like, that shit is so motherfucking trash. Like, the best thing that you can do with people is just be nice, be loving, allow them chances. But if you start to see something not happening in your favor, or you giving them chances, you try to talk them through it and it doesn't work, then okay, that's when you trip the deuces. It doesn't have to be this argument. It doesn't have to be all of this he said, she said, I'ma talk shit. Because also when a lot of people get out of these relationships, when they start trashing the person that they were just with, but it shows a reflection on how you are, because you were with that person, you love that person, now you're trashing them. So it's a reflection on you, like, how were you in the relationship, what were you doing, because there's no reason to trash the people that you were once with before. Like, guys, we really need to start loving people the best way we can. And that's why I want to just reel it back to solitude once again. When you go through these periods of solitude, focus on yourself, go to the gym, build a nice dream by pour into yourself, build your body how you would like to have it, get a better diet, start to go out in nature more, start to experience more, start to date, but date with boundaries. Don't just date and just give your all. Take your time, have options. And I just want everybody to understand this, and because I had caught a lot of flack for this in my last relationship. But when you are single, you are not tied down. You are not committed to anyone. You are in the dating pool. You are trying to figure out who's for you, because we don't allow ourselves to date and actually see who is really actually compatible with us. We get with these one person, we're single. What's the point of being single if you're still gonna just talk to one person? So it's like, date and have options. It's okay if you talk to someone and you're talking to another person and you're getting to learn these people, because you want to see who's actually meant for you, instead of focusing on one person and then just hopping in another relationship. It doesn't work like that. And that's why also a lot of relationships don't fucking last, because people are just hopping into them and not actually just dating and having options and seeing who actually works for them. Because I was talking to someone on and off before my last relationship, and I was still single at the time and kept it real, let the person know, like, I got other people. Yeah, they dropping off. I'm not really, paying attention to them a lot. My focus is more so on you, but there are people there. You need to understand that. So I had took this girl on a trip. We went to Miami for a trading convention. I'm into trading. And the trip did not go how I planned. The girl was feeling me more than I was feeling her. I let her, know, this is a business trip. I'm not here to just do playtime, but I invited you because I do want someone here with me along the journey. But so the trip didn't turn out how it's supposed to. The girl got jealous and then inboxed the other girl that she knew that I was talking to, and just said all this stuff that she created and said, oh, and such and such is with me, blah, blah, blah. And who cares? Like, at the end of the day, everybody knows about everybody, and this is what it is. You always have to keep it honest when you're dealing with people. There's no point in lying. Allow people the choice to want to deal with it or not. Don't lie and then hurt them in the end. sorry, I had to touch my phone. Don't lie and then hurt the person in the end, which what happened to me. I'm thinking, okay, she just into me. This is what she's telling me. She's not talking to anybody else. But come to find out, I found a different story later on down the line that wasn't true. And that hurts. And that causes, damages when we can just both be honest in the beginning and keep it real. Allow people the option to want to deal with it, because some people, more than likely, if you keep it honest with them, they are going to deal with whatever you got going on. They are going to know how to move accordingly. And some people don't. Some people do get deep in their feelings, which is normal. We're all human beings, and you just have to figure out that when it comes. So don't get into this notion that you have to just be with one person. You don't have to just be with one person. Allow yourself to learn who works for you. Allow yourself to get what you actually deserve. Get someone who understands your love languages. Get not just one of them, all of them. Get someone who's good at communication, who is good with communicating with you. Get someone who shows you a little bit different. Get with somebody that you can have deep talks with. Get with somebody where y'all can understand how each other was raised and where your past went. Don't just get with the first person there because you're trying to fill a void, or that you're lonely, or that you're dealing with a breakup, so now you're ready to move on from that person. You'll never have a successful relationship moving in that type of way. So don't just, we're in a constant circle of just causing damages, especially in the Black community. We're just in a circle of baby mama, baby daddy, sleeping with this person, sleeping with that person. Oh, I just got this relationship, I'm with this one, or I'm outside. We're just causing this constant circle of pain and not actually just healing our traumas and actually just being real and vibing and being in the moment. So that's just what I wanted to get up on here and talk about. I had a lot of thoughts about relationships, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. If I got some more, I'll probably add it to this video.